As we have learnt at the beginning of the chapter that things have changed in the field of education for the girls since the 19th century. And we are going to look at the situation of the schooling of today for women. And we are going to look at it from the census point of view. The census, which is held after 10 years in India, gives this figure that in 1961, 40% of the men were educated and 15% of the girls were educated or women. In 2001, the number of 40% of the men or the girls, of the boys reached to 76% and of the women from 15 to 54%. If you look at that, you will clearly say that there is lot of improvement from 15% to 54%. But still there is lot of gap between the 54% and the 76% that we have. So, a lot of work is still to be done to see that the men and women are at par in the field of education. In the women also, there are certain categories which are more at a loss. That is, the girls of the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe and the Muslim community do not easily get education as compared to other girls of the society. There are many factors which are responsible for creating hindrances in the education of the girls. And those are that generally in the rural areas, the schools are not situated very close to the houses, which means that the parents do not like the idea of sending their girls to far-flung places because of security reasons. Also, the families in the rural areas are very poor and cannot afford education for their children. And when it comes to education, that is the preference that they have to give, they give it to the boys than to the girls. So, therefore, the girls are left behind. Of course, the men or the boys are also discriminated on the basis of caste, as we have seen the example of Om Prakash Valmiki, wherein he was not treated equally in the classroom, was told to sit outside the class because he belonged to the scheduled tribe. Thus, many factors play a great role in the hampering of education in India. Let me talk about the women's movement. Women's movement is a movement which is aspiring, aiming at certain aspects of the women, which is education, legal reforms and violence. That is, they look into the getting of equality in these areas. And lot of people are also looking at health as one of the factor. So, together the women's movement is aiming at education, legal reforms, violence and health for the women folk. And this collective struggle, wherein you can join individually or as an organization, is called as the women's movement. Many men also support this movement for women, which is aiming at striving at getting equality for women in the society.